You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast. I'm Jen.
And I'm Megan, and we're two boss babes sharing our journey and inspiring you along the way.
And today we are talking about harvesting your business. And I have a really fun story to share. And we're just going to dive into continuing busy season and life and entrepreneurship and all the fun things that we have to talk about. Megan and I are together once again, which we absolutely love. We are making it a point to get together at least once a month and then maybe do a Zoom the other part. But there's nothing like that connection when you're with someone. You can give them a hug and say hi and all the above. So today, I've mentioned a few times that I have joined a mobile bar coaching program. It's called Mobile Beb Pros, and it's called the Accelerator Program. And what it is Sarah and Dawn are two amazing entrepreneurs who have started coaching other businesses. Sarah specific to mobile, started with mobile bars. Now she does coffee carts and ice cream trucks and all the things. But she's just an amazing human, and I'm so grateful to be in her coaching program. And yesterday we had a mastermind program. And Dawn pulled an oracle card. And if you're not familiar with oracle cards, which I am not very familiar with them, but they're similar to like a tarot card. And basically, pulling a card just kind of like reveals your journey. I guess we're going to call it that.
Okay.
But the card that Dawn pulled yesterday was just such like an aha moment for me. So I wanted to share that today and kind of like dive into it into our podcast. But let me also preference kind of where I'm at in my business right now. And then I'd love for you to like kind of chime in. I have oracle cards too. I should have brought mine today. I'll bring them next episode. We'll each pull a card. But I am in a journey I'm in a season, because I love calling them seasons. I'm in a season right now where as always, I'm like, what's next? That's just how my brain functions. I think it is good for entrepreneurship, but I think it also is a hurdle that I face in my specific life, because my husband said it yesterday. Actually, I think he said it this morning. I don't know, whatever. Yesterday or this morning. He's like, you're always on the go. And he's total opposite than me. He's introvert. He could sit home and watch TV all day, where I'm like, I need to go do something with my kids. And that's where we're yin and yang in that aspect. And he was just like, you're always doing something. And it made me reflect and remind myself like, yeah, I am always doing something. And I don't know how to sit still. And I'm acknowledging it. I'm putting it out in the universe. And that's how I am in my business too. So I have built 2 trailers. I've built a team that can now do events without me there. And so now I'm like, what's next? So I'm in a season where I'm just like, okay, let's go. Like, let's see. So Dawn is one of the co-coaches in our program, and she pulled an oracle card called the Corn, which is so crazy because corn got brought up in the topic too prior to me knowing what card she pulled. I don't think I told you that, but yeah, we're talking about something, and one of my questions in our mastermind call was, how can I promote holiday parties? How can I promote the fall? How can I, how can I promote the next season that's coming? And Sarah mentioned something along the lines of like, well, like, why don't you she didn't use the word harvest. I forget what she used, but she's like, why don't you like talk about like what we're going through right now kind of thing. There was more to it. But then I found out later that Dawn pulled this card, and I'm going to read, I just like Google. I don't have this specific deck, but I'm going to Google. I just Googled what it meant. So it says the essential message from the corn card. Corn represents the mother of tangible abundance. This symbol represents maternal prosperity in the world that provides stability to many. There is more than enough. And then the oracle's message was,
there is more than enough.
There's more than enough.
You're doing more than enough.
It could not have been more crazy.
Yeah.
And it says, the oracle's message, you planted a beautiful field of dreams and worked hard. Even in moments when you were losing faith, you continued. Now the spirit of corn comes to honor this and show you a bountiful harvest. This is the time to reap the rewards of hard work and trust. Whether those rewards are financial or the kind of prosperity measured in quality rather than quantity. You are so blessed when the symbol appears. Don't forget to share the good fortune. And this is the second time that she pulled this card for me, which is just wild.
It's meant for you. Yeah.
It's so meant for me. And it just like reminded me that I have not enjoyed my business at all. Like I have not, like my kids just went to school 2 days ago. This is another third day in school. They're both in elementary school. And I'm like home for the first time by myself. And I think I had this like moment of like, oh my God, I'm going to get so much work done. And the past 2 days, I literally like sat, and unfortunately I watched TV, which like I don't usually do, but I think I just like needed nonsense rather than like trying to entertain my kids, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to do this.
Yeah.
Where I thought I was going to sit down and go to work and like crank everything out, but I don't think my mind was ready to do that yet. So like yesterday after this call and like them reminding me that I need to enjoy this like amazing business I built instead of thinking about what's next and allowing
it.
Yeah. And it was just such like a moment for me. So after the call, one of the things that we talk about is, you know, what are your goals for the next month? It's one specific item that you are going to work on basically. And mine was to meditate and just stop.
Okay.
I'll let you know how
All right,
that
challenge
goes.
for you, it sounds like.
Such a challenge.
That's
you
good,
know
though.
that's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
But I felt called to like explain this to our listeners because I know that if I'm going through this, there's other people that are going through this too. And I just feel like I should be so proud that I'm able to build a business where I'm home. Like I went and met one of my best friends who just had a baby who's on maternity leave. We went for a walk at the beach with her newborn and enjoyed our coffee and just like chatted.
Yeah.
And she made a comment and she's like, and I think she listens into this sometimes, but she made a comment. She's like, imagine if this was our life. And I was like, well, it kind of is my life.
Yeah.
Like I can go to the beach on a Tuesday and enjoy coffee with my best friend.
Yeah.
And take her newborn out for a stroller ride. Like I can do that. Like, yeah, there's stress that comes
of course
on the weekends. And like this weekend, I'm not able to go somewhere that my family's going to because I have an amazing wedding, but I am able to do that. And like, I forget about that. You know what I mean? Like I forget that we built that.
Yeah. Like yesterday I got my hair done. I got my nails done. I was like, you know, I'm going to treat myself before busy season like really, really hits and just take like one full day off. And I had time in between. So I went to a coffee shop and I worked a little bit, but like still I get that. Like we're able to just take time for ourselves if we feel like we need it. Mm-hmm. But that's the struggle of it, is that a lot of people don't have like that willpower to go back to work. And it's like a really tough balance to like have to manage your workload and make sure that everything is done, and you have to do all of that before you can do something nice for yourself. I don't know. I feel like it's like a lot of people would take advantage of that free time if they weren't like, didn't have their all in their business, but like we have our all in our business and like we want it to succeed. And like, that's where it's like, what's next comes in for you. I feel like, because you maybe feel like you haven't done enough, but your card said you've done more than enough, Jen. So I think you're good. I'm glad you went to the beach.
Me too. And I think we put so much pressure on ourselves as entrepreneurs that we have to continually do something because we don't have a boss saying, oh, did you get this done? Did you finish this? Did you finish that? So we feel like we have to put so much on our plates because we're like, what if we fail?
Yeah, like the guilt of not doing enough. Like I had time in between my hair and nail appointment yesterday, and I could have easily like come home in between or like just gone to a coffee shop and read a book. But I went to a coffee shop and I worked for like an hour and a half instead. But like I told myself I was going to take the day off, but I didn't. And then I came home and then I like answered a bunch of emails and kept working too. So like it wasn't even a day off. But like in my mind it did feel like one because I was treating myself and I like, you know, did something nice for myself and it was, you know, but yeah, I had that like itch in the back of my mind that was like, you should be working. Mm-hmm. We should go to a coffee shop and bring your laptop. Like I had that in the back of my mind. And
I think we do that to ourselves 100%.
We do. It's like I feel guilty kind of not.
If I'm not touching my business once a day, I feel guilty. And I feel that like, but also in the second part of it, like I'm not working 8 hours. So like, and I know we do this differently. I work in pockets. You actually have like your set
Well, but it's also, my life is so different than yours. Like we live such totally different lives. Like I have a dog, but I have parents, and like they're here and they take care of her most of the time. Like I'll, throw the ball out for her like every now and then outside, like whatever, but she's like an elderly dog, so she doesn't really even want to, but besides the point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm able to sit down at my computer with no distractions for 8 hours, and you can't do that.
No.
So it's different. Like if I had kids or had other things going on that I needed to do, like I probably wouldn't work 8 hours straight either.
Yeah.
If I wasn't able to.
And I just think
But
that we put that pressure on ourselves because it's so weird, because I feel like when we started this entrepreneur journey, we're like, we are not going to work the 9 to 5, and we are not going to let the, I'm just using this as an example, but we are not going to let the man tell us what to do.
Yeah, right.
Lack of a better word, but the corporate world. But yet we put all this stress on ourselves and we're like, we have to work all day.
You exchange the 9 to 5 for 24/7.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's so different. And
it is.
If you're an entrepreneur listening to this, you understand what we're saying and where we're getting at with this. But it's like you have a different type of level of stress. Your level of stress is, I cannot fail in this business because I will not go back to a 9 to 5. This is my experience. I will not go back to a 9 to 5.
Yeah, and because you have to fight for that money to come in versus like clocking into a job, like it's going to come in whether you're working hard or not.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not really, but you know what I mean? Like you're clocking in, you're going to get paid, and like you've mentioned this on the podcast before, like having friends that say like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, but like don't go so far into depth of like what they're really doing every day and what their businesses are all about. And before starting my own business, like I didn't really get it either. I would see like people on Instagram or like TikTok or whatever where it says like an entrepreneur, like multifaceted, whatever. And I'm like, okay, but like what does that even mean?
What do you do?
What do they even do? And they're just like posting on social media, just like them in their lives. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur and today I got coffee and then I went to yoga and then I did this. And I'm like, but what are they doing? And didn't really get it because like the transparency of like normal day to day people don't really show because it's not as glamorous as like going to get coffee and yoga, and
exactly,
it's not as exciting.
Yeah, it's so true. I think we do it on this podcast, like we share our behind the scenes, but I think most entrepreneurs just think because this is what you signed up for, this is what you do kind of thing. But I think being able to share your experience and your journey with other people to remind them that they're not alone is such a big part of why we started this podcast, because we felt so alone and isolated when we first started. We were like, oh my God, like, how are we going to get through this? How are we going to do this? Yeah. And then, for me, I feed off of other people's energy. And that's why I want to do like this women's conference. And I want to, and I actually just called one of my friend Devin, who she owns an event planning company. And I listened to another one of my mobile bar coaches podcasts. And one of the things that they said was, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but they were talking about pricing. And they were like, go to a luxury hotel, go have a drink at the bar and go see what the elite are like. And I literally called Devin and I was like, can we go to the city and have drinks? And she's like, what? I go, I just want to see what it's like for the rich and famous. But I meant it in a way of like, I need your energy. I want to sit in a room with you. I want to feed off of conversations. And I also want to do some research and see what a high-end bar is like to then bring that back to my bar. And that's what entrepreneurship is about. It's about going out and learning the experiences of what other people are doing. And
ooh, that kind of makes me want to book a session with like a really famous photographer and like see what it feels like.
That's how like you learn. Like that's why I hired a coach. That's why you hire coaches. That's why you do things like and this is why I really want to do this women's conference, because I want to get in a room with people who are smarter than me, more advanced than me, better than me, because if I don't, I'm never going to learn. Yeah. I'm just going to learn what I know. Yeah. And what I'm teaching myself, which that's what you learn in corporate. You learn from the CEO. You learn from your director. You learn from your boss. And that's where like the pyramid is, but like that is also how you learn. With entrepreneur, if you're not doing the research yourself, you're not learning or growing.
This is so interesting because there's a lot of photographers that I follow closely of like sharing tips, and people that have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers and are like their names are well known. And I follow a lot of people and like watch their stuff, but I've never thought to actually like sit down at a bar, like that kind of thing, but for photography. I've never thought to actually like see somebody in person or like work with somebody or, you know,
do it, put it on your list.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might have to pay them, but like,
yeah, right.
you know, that's what it's about. That's about the growth of your business and your company. So if you see Devin and I in New York City next week, you know why.
That is so funny.
But yeah, I think social media, fortunately and unfortunately, is an amazing tool. But again, I don't think that you're really getting their perfectly curated business. You're not getting what it's really all about. Like you're not getting like, they had yoga and coffee this morning, but were they crying 10 minutes before that because they're so freaking stressed out?
Or were they working all night?
Yeah. Did they pull it all night or to be able to do that?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And I think that's why we started this podcast, because we want to share that it's not all beautiful and pretty, and it is ugly, and it is, you know, where you don't harvest your business and you don't enjoy the, you know, what you grew and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about the seasons too, because remember right before we got on, you were telling me about the cards a little bit. Yeah. And you said something about like the harvest season. Yeah. Winter.
So one other thing that was brought up in my mastermind. And I think I briefly touched base, but we do once a month, we have a mastermind call with my coaching program, and they do like 7 to 8 minutes of diving into your specific business. And you can ask, you know, whatever questions you want.
I kind of like that. That's like business therapy.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Nice.
It is amazing. And they're just such amazing entrepreneur coaches, and I'm just so grateful. But we talked about why there are seasons and why you need winter in order to enjoy spring and summer and fall. Yeah. Like I'm going to use flowers as an example, but the flowers have to die so that new flowers are going to come next year. Yeah. And I always forget about the dying part. I always forget about the winter and how important it is. And if I didn't have the winter of being able to promote my business more, market my business more, do the website. Like I redid my website by myself last winter.
I remember.
And I got so many compliments on it. I look back and I'm like, oh, got to do this, got to do that. But like, I should be so proud of what I did last winter. Yeah. And I was able to enjoy it, and I'll redo it again this winter. But like, I forget that I need to enjoy the downtime. Right. I'm not good at it.
Like meditating is like your rain.
Yes.
Needs to happen once a week.
Have you ever done a sound bath?
Yes, we went to that event in
oh my God, yes.
Where was that? Norwalk?
Greenwich.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
I forgot about that too.
Oh my God, yes.
Where was that? The Hunt? No, that's not it.
It was called something. It was a spa.
And you got a t-shirt from them, or a sweatshirt. I remember.
Yep. Oh, where is that sweatshirt? I love that one. Anyway, we did do a sound bath.
About that. Yeah, that was
cool.
And
I did one at my retreat that I went to with Alexis with manifestation, and I need to do another one of those, because now that I understand, like, I still don't know how to shut my brain off, and that's what meditation is about. It's about like training your mind to relax and shut off, and I just don't know how to do that at all. But it's like anything. Like, I didn't know how to pour a drink before I learned. I didn't know how to run a business before. I still don't know how to, but
you know what we should do?
What?
We should have somebody come on and do like a guided one with us for an episode, so you guys can do it with us.
Ooh, let's do it.
That would be cool.
Few that we could reach out to. Okay, noted.
That would be fun.
That would be. All right, we're gonna have someone on. Yes. That's a good idea, and like have it be like a. Okay, so we won't take up too much time, but yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
okay, we'll have one, because I really need to learn how to meditate, and like, there's tools that you could like Google and whatever, but like, there's nothing like having someone sitting next to you in person talking to you about it.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Me too. I like that too.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna write that down, because I feel like we have a lot of ideas in the middle of episodes, and then we forget that we talk about them.
You write down. I'll go on a tangent about something else.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Wait, now I lost my train of thought, and I don't really know what to say. Megan shut her mic off. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing what I was
Okay,
doing.
you keep doing what you're doing. Anyway, back to, I guess I'll just dive into, again, talking about my amazing coaches. But if you're in a season of your business where you are struggling with different things, I highly recommend hiring someone who is more advanced than you. I do coaching for mobile bars during my off season because that is the time that I can actually focus on them and give them my undivided attention where I'm not in my busy season. But I am a true believer that if you are not constantly teaching yourself and learning in your own business, you're not going to grow. Yeah. And I just think that sometimes you have to put money into your business in order to get money out of your business. And there was another girl in our coaching program where she's like, I feel like I'm just spending so much money right now, but it's all for huge things in her business. You know, like she's changing her payroll. She's changing like different aspects. And she's like, I just feel like I'm like dishing out so much money. And her coach was like, yeah, but sometimes that's a season that you have to do that in. And when we first started, that's what I felt like all I was doing was putting money out.
Yeah.
And, you know, now it's not that bad. Now the money's coming in and it's not going out as much, but it's going out just to my bills. But I feel like there are seasons where you have to do that in order to regrow your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever hired a coach?
No.
No? What's
No.
the reason for that? You just feel like you don't need to yet, or?
I don't know. I just never really
I think you've never
considered, I guess.
And I'm just using
yes.
I think as this is my opinion. I don't think you've ever experienced what it's like to have a coach.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like Sarah with Mobile Bev was one of the first coaches I've ever hired. And I feel like Alexis with Manifestation, she is a coach, but the retreat was like a coaching aspect.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was another coach I hired. I've done a few like large trainings just on like, I found them group. Online. Yeah. It was like a group thing. You pay like, I don't know, $50 and you're with like 1,000 people. But some of those are even very valuable and you just like walk out and those are more like you have to do them yourself. Yeah. But I have a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs who have hired so many different coaches.
Yeah, I don't know why I never really thought about it because you talk about yours all the time and like how much you love it and everything that you take out of it. And I never even...
I think it's also very important to connect with a coach because you have to enjoy you have to enjoy how they run their business in order to connect with them in a way, I guess you could say. But yeah, I knew nothing about mobile bars when I first started and I didn't hire Sarah. I mean, I'm now 3 years in and this is like the bulk of me hiring her, but I did, she has an academy and I did the academy with her, I think 2 years ago. It's like my first year in. But I take that back. I did hire another mobile bar who had 2 trailers when I first got my second trailer because I just did like a one-on-one session with her.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah. Forget where she was out of. Anyway. But it was a great experience. It was a 1-hour phone call. I think I paid her like $300 for an hour, which is a lot of fucking money, but it was worth it. I got what I needed out of it. You know what I mean? And like I built that relationship with her and connection. But I think it's so important to feed off of other people's energy who are a step ahead of you. Yeah. Because that's how you're going to grow and learn and things like that.
Totally.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I should. I just never even
looked into it.
No.
I think you need to go to like, I'm trying, cause you're geared towards weddings. So like an art studio would not.
I know there's like a lot of retreats and stuff that I always see pop up at like really cool places that is like half a styled shoot, but then also it's like a workshop. So kind of like the Manifestation with Alexis, but you also take photos while you're there. It's like half, a content day and half is like, they're like instructing you on like what they do, like as you're taking the photos too. And then there's like other things where, you sit down and have dinner together and then they can like answer all your questions and stuff like that. So I've like considered doing those, but I've never even really put much thought into like the other aspect of like the workshop part. I've only ever thought like, oh, I want to take pictures there. Like I've never even, but I should though.
I think you definitely should.
Maybe I should go to a
season.
retreat.
I think you should do I mean, I'm not telling you to spend thousands of dollars, but spend thousands of dollars. Honestly, Alexis's retreat after I walked out, she just did one in Hawaii.
That's cool.
It just looked amazing. But you have to find one that you connect with. But I don't know. I walked out of there really rejuvenated and like refreshed. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Those
Ready
are, like,
to take on.
Yeah. That's really why I want to do this like women's retreat. It's not a retreat. I'm not calling it that. Some type of workshop conference thing.
I like that. Yeah.
Because I just want to get in a room with women. That's like just who I am. That's where I feed off of. That's where my energy starts to come back again.
Do you think you'll do like a sound bath for some workshops and things like that? Or is it going to be mostly just like instructional?
No. I want it to be like, I want it to fit a bigger demographic. Is that the word I'm looking for? So I want to be able to like choose where you want to go, but it's just also like the budget. Things are expensive.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely want it to be like different journeys.
Cool.
Yeah. Are you looking to up your client experience? HoneyBook is a leading client management tool for accepting inquiries, sending invoice and contracts, and keeping all your emails in an easy and safe space. Check out their amazing tools like the expense tracker, batch email sender, and email templates to get messages to clients with ease. Make your business run faster and more efficiently with HoneyBook. Use the link in the description for 25% off your first year. That's a 1-week free trial and 25% off your first year of HoneyBook with the link below.
Are you a HoneyBook user looking for the perfect photo gallery service? Enjoy this special offer from HoneyBook with 3 free months of PickTime, valid for new PickTime subscribers when choosing any yearly plan. Deliver your client galleries with ease, including an automated built-in store, marketing tools, blog builder, and more. Earn 3 free months of PickTime when subscribing to a yearly plan with the code below. Sometimes I'll go to a session and just not be like so excited about it, and then other times I'll go and be like, I'm so excited, this is gonna be the best thing ever. But either way, every time I leave a session, that's like the energy every time. So I need to like, I feel like I need to meditate or like do something before every session to like get in the headspace and to be like, they want to work with me, and just, like be,
Oh, I love this. So do you have something that you do on your way to an event? Like, do you have like a...
No, like a song that I play, or no.
Or do you just like blast music? Like,
I listen to music, I sing,
Okay.
I try to get the energy there. But if I'm going to like a session where I have to like really pose and like be on my game, I'll usually like kind of like practice in the car and be like, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is this. And then I'll go through like the different things in my head that I want to try with them. Especially like pertaining to the location that we're going to, and be like, oh, like I want to go to this spot and do this with them there. And I'll kind of like practice in my mind on the way. And then sometimes that goes totally out the window when I get there, because I just see them and I'm like, oh no, this is going to work so much better for them. But, there are some times where I'm just like not really feeling it as much, and then I'll even get there and I'll have like brain farts and be like, what do I do now? What do I do now? And I have a list of poses in like the notes app of my phone. And if I get stuck, I'll be like, I'm just going to check like my archive really quick and like see, if anything like jumps out at me, just like as we're like walking from like spot to spot. But it's weird. I don't know if it's like my energy and their energy and just how we click together, or if it's like more of like the location in their outfit. I don't know, but like sometimes I'll have sessions. Like I had an amazing one recently, Emma and Mike, and I don't think I had like an hour and a half drive, so like I prepped probably a little bit in the back of my mind, but I didn't like prep. And then we got together, and it was just like one of the easiest sessions I've ever had. Like I just knew what would look good with them, and just like they were doing their own thing, and then I'd be like, whoa, pause, that looks great, let's dive more into this a little bit, and how about we try this like as a little variation of that. And like it just like things happened with them, versus other couples I have to be more of a guide sometimes. And that's great, and there's no issue with that. And usually it's like with the guys, which is like expected and it's fine. But sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm not like fully there on the way. Like I feel like I need to sometimes have like a pregame like routine kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I blast music and like totally try to get in the headspace, but I'm the same way. Like and I used to be like this when I would work like catering shifts back in the day. I would dread getting there, and then once I got there, I was totally fine, and it was completely fine. And I don't do that as much with events anymore. Like I think I just dread like leaving my family more than I dread like actually being at the event.
Yes,
Do you know what I
that is
mean?
exactly it. Like I feel like most of the time when I feel that way and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go, it's usually because I'm already somewhere.
Yep.
Like I'm out with Jake and some friends and I have to leave early to like go to a session somewhere. But instead of like relishing in it and being like, I have to leave early because I have a session somewhere. Yep. It's like, oh, I have to leave early because I have a session somewhere. And like, that's not the way that I should look at it. And I should just like switch my mindset and be like, I have a session somewhere, you know, and sometimes sometimes I feel that way and I'm like, I get to go to a session tonight. Yep. But then there's other times where I'm just so tired and I've had like a session like every day, or I've had back-to-back weddings and I'm just like, oh, I have to go to another one. Yep. But then I get there and it's the best thing ever. And I leave and I'm soaring. Yep. And I don't know, but it's, I feel like I need to do something to make me feel that way beforehand. I don't know what to do.
I think
maybe I need a coach.
Yes. I think unfortunately my brain thrives off of this because like I was talking to my husband and my son is having trouble reading. Mm-hmm. And we're like, do we get a tutor? Do we do this? And he's going into first grade. Like it's not like he's having trouble reading and he's in fifth grade.
Oh, yeah.
But we want to nip it in the butt and whatever.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how both of us would do our homework the day before. And how both of us would wait till the last minute to do things. And we were like, we cannot do this to our kids. But I feel like that is how I thrive when I'm in crunch mode, and that's just how I work. And like, that's like, I'm going to use this week as an example. Sure. I have a wedding of 200 people on Saturday. I still have to go shopping. I still have to get my supplies. Prepping I have to do the day before because it's all fresh. I have to.
Yeah.
But I could have the trailer packed already. I don't. I could have my bar signs made. I don't. I'm going to do all of it tonight and tomorrow night. But why I do this, I don't know.
Yeah.
But but I get it done. I stress myself out and I get it done. But it's like, I think I'm prioritizing other things. Like I'm spending time with my family Monday through Wednesday. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like we went to my grandma's pool yesterday and I'm enjoying the last moments of summer. Like I feel like and I got home and I wanted to go to bed. Like I didn't want to go print a menu.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like, yes, I stress myself out to the last moment, but I think it's just, that's what works for me kind of thing. And I think I need to like either accept it or not. I don't really know.
You like feel guilty for it? Or
I don't know
what?
if it's guilt. I think it's just, and again, the menu doesn't take me long. It takes me 10 minutes. But like,
still, it's like it's like in your head. It's like a lot of headspace.
I know if you listen to this podcast, I've talked about this multiple times. Like, I could have done this menu a month ago. Why it's Thursday and I'm just doing it probably tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow night. But like, why I do this, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the gods can tell me why I do this.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just how my brain works. But basically what I'm saying is I think everyone works in different ways. But back to like my son, I don't want him to feed off of how my husband and I do things. Because, I mean, we could go in a total rabbit hole. But you learn from your parents. That's what you do in life. And there's things that I take from my parents that I like and I don't like. And I'm not going to do the things I don't like to my kids. But I'm sure there's going to be things that my kids like and don't like and take from me and on and on. So I don't know. You could just do the best as you can as a human is kind of where I'm going at with this, I think. But anyway, I think the premise of this episode is really, you have to enjoy what you've built. And that's what I'm learning in the season that I'm in right now. And I did a lot of work to be able to not have, my goal of hiring mobile bed pros was to go into this winter not having the stress of not a big savings account and not having the stress of like, what am I going to do for the winter? How am I going to get an income? You know, like we get our deposits, but
Right.
it's not what we're making right now. And I think I know that I have set myself up for a better winter this year, but I think I need to remind myself that it's okay to have a winter season.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to take a break. It's okay to stop. And somebody was like, oh, well, why don't you book a vacation for yourself and travel? And I don't think that's what I need. I take vacations. I travel with my family all the time. Like, I'm so grateful that I have that opportunity, but I think I need to just not do anything. And I need to just remind myself and meditate and remind myself, I built this.
Yeah.
It's here. I don't need to make more money yet. I can enjoy this for a few months and then make more money later. I think that's what I need to tell myself.
Take a step back and really look at the business.
Yeah.
From the outside and be like, everything looks good.
Yep.
No stress. It's good the way it is. You're doing more than enough.
Exactly. So that's I just almost fell in my chair. That's my 10 cents for today's episode. Do you have anything else, excuse me, that you want to share about just your winter season coming up? And
just that I'm excited for it.
I know you are.
I'm excited for it. I like the slow life. I like having not minimal work, but I like having consistently the same amount of work. I wish that my business was like that. And you know what? It could be. Like, I have the power to make it that way, but I don't, because it's hard to say no. And that's what I struggle with, is like, I like having, 5 to 10 things to edit consistently, and, like, just like go on from there, and like the list can stay the same amount. I'll shoot something new and deliver something at the same time. That's like my perfect life, is just to like be balanced and maintain it all, instead of having like 2 months of, okay, everybody, let's go, blah, 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 and it feels like a war zone, and then it's over. That's not my favorite thing. But I have the power to not accept everybody, but I can't. So,
love everyone.
I love everyone.
I'm absolutely the same way. But you know what? I love calling them aha moments. It's the takeaway I had in corporate, where it's just like an aha moment just means like you literally say like, aha, like
yeah.
And it's just like that. Wow, like, oh my God,
that's
this
how
clicked.
it goes.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah. And I learned, and I'm not going to go into detail, but because it's specific to an event, but I learned not to take pieces of business that do not serve me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you learn that with your family sessions. You learn that wasn't something that you wanted anymore. And
even some weddings, like, I'll get inquiries, and even if I'm available, sometimes I'm like, I don't think this one is the best, but it would be great for so-and-so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a challenge with that because I took on a piece of business that truly did not make sense for my company. But I was in like fight or flight mode. I had no other events going on like almost the entire month of August when this booking came in, and I was like, I have to take this. I need to have my teamwork. I need to make money. But it just did not make sense at all. And I knew that going in, and I should have gone with my gut, and I should have said, no, Jen, it is not worth the couple extra, whatever, hundreds, whatever. And I have learned to not say yes to things that do not serve me and make sense. And that takes a really long time. And who knows if I'm going to fuck up again and take something that doesn't make sense. I probably will. But at least I learned that I learned to go about it in different ways, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure that I'm assuming I'm using my thing, but maybe you did take a wedding that your gut said, maybe I shouldn't take this.
Yeah. And you know what? More often than not, I'll have calls where I'm like, that's my gut is telling me that on the call, but still at the end of it, I hear myself saying, okay, I'm going to send you the proposal, blah, blah, blah. And I send it to them. And like, I think somebody's looking out for me, because more often than not, when I do that, they don't end up booking or they just ghost me. They just don't get back. And I'm like, whew, like I always feel like I dodged a bullet kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Just because I just like the way that they're describing, I don't know, how they want this like really particularly done or something. And I'm like, I work off the vibes though. Yep. Like, you know, yep. It might not be that way. So yeah. But this is good. I'm glad that you brought this up because I needed to probably hear that from somebody else that, hey, at the end of the call, I can be like, okay, I can send you the proposal, and then maybe I don't, and maybe I email them instead and say, hey, looking back at all the details, you know, I'm considering that maybe so and so is a much better fit for you, and keep my, you know, it's not me, or it's not you, it's me.
God, I hate that.
You know,
no, but that totally makes sense, and I think that there's times where things make sense and there's times that it doesn't, but it's hard to say no as an entrepreneur. And going back to like the first part of this conversation, like I built this business, we built these businesses, and we have to enjoy them. Yeah. And this specific event, I knew going in, I wasn't even there, but I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy it. And I knew my girls weren't going to enjoy it. And I knew that it just wasn't, it didn't make sense. And I don't know why, I do know why I said yes to it. I just explained why, but looking back, I should have absolutely said no. Yeah. And I gave discounts and I cut costs and I made no money on this event. And it's just like all the things happened that I knew was going to happen. Yeah. And I could have easily stopped it, but I feel like you have to learn from those few and don't make the same mistake twice. So
yeah. But then there's other times where it could be perfect. Like I just got an inquiry for Alaska for next summer.
Stop it right now.
Yeah, I'm talking to her on Wednesday next week.
Oh, I'm sending you all the good vibes.
And I found her on Facebook. She posted in a group like, oh, I'm looking for a videographer, 3,000 budget in Wasilla area, which is where we would like to go. And I'm already planning to go in the summer next year with my sister and her boyfriend, maybe fiance. When we're there, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, we were already planning to go in the summer, and then she posted that she needed a videographer in July 2025. And I was like, shut the front door. Exactly where we're going to be, of course. And so I was like, yes. So I commented, and I was the only one that she responded to. She filled out an inquiry within the hour. We've been like emailing back and forth a little bit, and we have a call next week. And I offered her 70% off just because I want it so bad. Yeah. And because it would be huge for my business. Mm-hmm. And so like that's a place where discounting your services makes sense because like this is going to be like a life changer for me and my business, and I want her to know that I really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And you know, but like I would not give anybody a discount that big around here when it's not in my best interest. But this is in my best interest. Yeah. And so I was like, I will literally do it for 70% off. Like, please. So
I love, oh my God.
So, but like that makes sense. And like, that's one that like, I have that feeling where like, I couldn't stop like smiling all day. Like I got the inquiry. It was like 7 p.m. or something, cause they're 4 hours behind us. And I couldn't go to bed. I was just so excited. I was texting like all my friends, just like, guys, oh my gosh. And I couldn't stop like looking in the mirror, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. You know, but like, that's like when you know that it's right. It's like, it felt so right and meant to be. And in her inquiry, guess what she said in her inquiry?
Oh gosh.
Because I have like, oh, tell me more about you and your fiance and blah, blah, blah.
She wants to move there or something?
No, she lives there, but she said the words shot my shot.
Stop it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. She said, she was like telling me how they met and how they both thought that they were out of each other's league, but I shot my shot and I won.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And I sent like a screenshot to my sister, and she was like, not her saying shoot my shot. And I was like, I know.
Oh my God.
I know. And she was like, it's meant to be. And I was like,
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I know how
So-
much Alaska means to you. Oh, that is amazing.
So very,
So
very
amazing.
excited for that.
Oh, I hope that all pans out. Manifest that one.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm just enjoying, like, even before we're getting on the phone too. So
Yeah.
like I'm trying to relish in the business, like we're just talking about today, but I
Yep.
am enjoying just like this excitement and anticipation kind of moment before we're even getting on the call. Like I'm just like so excited to talk to her, and I like hope that this excitement continues and that the phone call does go really well.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
hope that we do really jive, because with our emails back and forth, like it sounds like it's going to be a really great fit, but she could think that it's a great fit because I'm giving her 70% off.
Right.
You know,
right,
it could be a good fit
exactly.
for her differently than me, and it
Yep.
could backfire in my face. So
Yeah,
I just have
yeah.
to really like talk to her and have her know that I really appreciate it, and I'm not going to do it for totally free.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I was already going to be in the area. It's not like I'm going to charge her for travel. Like
Right.
I was already going to be there. So I'm so excited.
Yay. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy for you.
Thank you. I
yeah,
forgot
but
to tell you about that.
I
wanted to
totally
tell you
get
and I
that.
forgot.
Oh, I totally get that because I actually had a call on the way here this morning, and it was for a book launch party, and it's in an area, it's in Greenwich, and I really want to get more into the Greenwich market.
Yeah.
And I'd be like right in front of like the most popular store in downtown Greenwich, and just like
Ooh.
all the vibes, like totally what I'm looking for. Hopefully it's going to move forward. But I got off the phone and I was like, this is a fit. Like, this is a good
Yes.
fit for my business. This is what I want. This is what I've been wanting to do more
And an
of.
interesting niche.
Yeah.
Because you've been wanting to do more like corporate and like
Yep.
business kind of things.
Yep.
And that's like a really interesting one because
Exactly.
that's public. That's
Yeah.
like a public corporate thing.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
like,
cool,
super
Jen.
excited. Yeah.
Ooh.
So all the good, yeah. Oh, I love this. All the good things are happening
Yes.
lately. But yeah. So anyway, we'll kind of wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
I think our outtake on this is enjoy what you're building.
Yes.
And like savor the moments like this.
Yes.
Where like you can have an event in Alaska and where you want to be, and I can do a book launch in Greenwich where I want to be. And you know, like it's these moments that remind me of like why.
This is why we're doing it.
This is why we're doing
This
it.
is why we're doing it.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing it.
Oh.
Yes. So excited.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. I think we're going to have a guest speaker coming up. We don't know who or when or what yet, but
Yes.
we're looking to get a few more guest speakers. So if you think you will be a good fit for the Shoot Your Shot
Yeah.
podcast, let us know. Reach out on Instagram or send us a message, email, whatever you want. And if you're liking this, leave us a review, please.
Yes, please.
We love reviews. So cheers.
Cheers.